Okay, this is section 3.2, solving equations using multiplication and division. We've talked earlier about the operations and how each operation has an opposite or an inverse. So if I have addition, the opposite is subtraction. If I have subtraction, the opposite is addition. If I have multiplication, the opposite is division. If I have division, the opposite is to multiply. That's going to be how I undo all of these operations. So let's take a look at an example. I have negative 4x equals 1. That negative 4 is attached to x by multiplication. So to undo it, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. So I have x is equal to negative 1/4. Now let's go and check the answer. So everywhere I have x, I'm going to plug in negative 1/4. So my original equation had negative 4 times x is equal to 1. Oh, a negative times a negative is a positive. So I have positive 4 over 4 is equal to 1. 4 over 4 simplifies to 1. So 1 is equal to 1. Now I have 6n is equal to 12. Well, I still want the variable all by itself with a coefficient of 1. Divide both sides by positive 6. 12 divided by 6 is equal to 2, so n is equal to 2. Now when I check it, I have 6 times 2 is equal to 12. Oh, 12 is equal to 12. I didn't make a mistake. Negative 49 is equal to negative 7y. Once again, I want to get the variable by itself. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 7. Negative divided by a negative is going to give me a positive. So 7 is equal to y. Now when I check it, I have my original equation as negative 49 is equal to negative 7y. I'm going to plug 7 in. So I have negative 49 is equal to negative 7 times 7. So negative 49 is equal to negative 49. X divided by 5 is equal to negative 30. Well, this time I have division, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. So I have x is equal to negative 150. Now when I go check, remember I have x over 5 is equal to negative 30. So I have negative 150 divided by 5 is equal to negative 30. 5 goes into 150 30 times. It's a negative divided by a positive, so it's negative. Negative 30 is equal to negative 30. X divided by negative 9 is equal to 25. Multiply both sides by negative 9. So we have x is equal to negative 225. Now when I go to the side to check it, remember I have x divided by negative 9 is equal to 25. Negative 225 divided by negative 9 is equal to 25. Now let's see if this is true. And Negative divided by negative is equal to a positive. So positive 25 is equal to positive 25. Now this one's a little bit different because now I have negative 2/3 m is equal to 10. Now remember, to undo multiplication, what do? You divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2/3. But if we remember something that we learned earlier, we can save our time. Because whenever I divide, so if I have negative 2/3, I'm going to divide by negative 2/3. Oh, whenever I divide, I'm really multiplying by my reciprocal. So instead of writing this out, I can just say, okay, I'm dividing by negative 2/3. That means I'm multiplying by the reciprocal, which is negative 3/2. So, negative times a negative is a positive. Cancel, cancel. Oh, that just equals 1. Let's take a look at another one of those. Let's see what happens when we multiply by the reciprocal of 1/4. Multiply by 4/1. I get 1. Let's do 2/5 times its reciprocal. I get 10/10 or just 1. So whenever I multiply by the reciprocal of a number, I'm always going to get 1. Okay, so since I'm dividing by negative 2/3, and we know that when we divide, we really multiply by the reciprocal. And the reason this is important is because I have a fraction. So this is just going to save me some time if I can remember this. So this is going to just cancel out. And whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I have m is equal to, I can do a little simplifying. 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 10 5 times. I get negative 15. Now let's check. When I check it, I have negative 2/3 times m is equal to 10. So negative 2/3 times negative 15, I really need that to equal 10. So this gives me a positive 30 divided by 3. So I do numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, is equal to 10. 30 divided by 3 simplifies down to 10. 10 equals 10. We did a good job. Okay, now we have 1/7 x is equal to negative 3/8. I've got a fraction. I want it to go away. What do? I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So that's going to cancel out. So now I have x is equal to negative 3 times positive 7 gives me a negative 21. 8 times 1 gives me 8. Let's see, that won't simplify, so I get x is equal to negative 21/8. Now let's go and check our answer. So we have 1/7 x is equal to negative 3/8. I'm going to plug in my answer for x, so I have 1/7 times negative 21/8. And we want it to equal negative 3/8. Well, 7 will go into 7 one time. 7 will go into negative 21, so we're going to have a negative 3. 1 times negative 3 gives me negative 3. 1 times 8 gives me 8. So I do get negative 3/8 is equal to negative 3/8. We didn't make a mistake. Now let's do 2/5 x is equal to 8. What am I going to do first? I'm going to multiply by my reciprocal, which in this case is a positive 5/2. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. See, so 2 will go into 2 one time, 2 will go into 8 4 times. So I have x is equal to 4 times 5, which is 20. Now let's take a look over here and check it. So I have 2/5 x is equal to 8. I'm going to plug 20 in for x, so I have 2/5 times 20 is equal to 8. 5 goes into 5 one time. 5 goes into 20 4 times. 2 times 4 is 8. Oh my goodness, 8's equal to 8. That works.